Hey guys, this is Not Lammers of Invoked 101, and this video is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to be sitting up in the corner right here while we look at some decks on Yugo Pro. So what this was this is actually an idea by Mio. She suggested that we take some of your guys' decks, put them into Yugo Pro, and review them essentially. So how this is going to work is I'm going to show off the deck list, I'm going to talk about the deck list a little bit, and then I'm going to talk about what I personally would change to it. Some stuff that I would put in, or something that I would recommend taking out, some stuff along those lines. But again, for the most part, we're just going to be reviewing the deck and telling you how we feel about it. And if I will, Mio over there, I'm going to ask her who sent in what. So we can put their name right there, because we got a couple from Instagram, we got one from Dual Amino, and I forget where the last one is, but it's a Lunalight deck. So if you're watching this and you sent the Lunalight deck, please comment your thing down below, because I forgot who you were. I'm sorry, and I couldn't find it. Alright, anyway, so let's start with the first deck. So we're just going to go into deck edit. And right here we have a Dark Lord deck. So this is actually something that I made personally, so I know what I'm talking about here a little bit. He's playing the 3 Ixchel, which is really good. He has the 1 Tetsacoplia, which I personally play 2. He has 3 Superbio, which is about standard for Dark Lords. 2 Zerato, which, you know, good on you. I like the 2 Zerato. He has 1 Christia. I personally play 2. 2 Gameciel, which is the Kaijus. I haven't played the Kaijus in the deck. 3 Nastin, which is another standard card. So like standard Dark Lords play the 3 Ixchel, the 3 Superbia, and the 3 Nastin, and then the one Omdusk, which he has over here. He also has 2 Vanity's Fiend and only 1 Ukobak. So as far as monster lineup as far as monster lineup goes, this is pretty stock standard for Dark Lords, aside from the Gameciels. I haven't seen any other Dark Lord player playing Kaijus. And then the Vanity's Fiend is a little different, because it's not a fairy, so it doesn't super jive with the deck, but it is dark, and I get it. It's kind of like more Christias, but at the same time, why wouldn't you just play more Christias? Anyway, so spells, 3 Allure, which is pretty good. Almost the entire deck is dark here, except for the Christias and the Sea Turtles. A Raigeki, 3 Contact, which is the search card. A Mind Control, which is a little interesting. I guess you could snatch a level 8, but he didn't include an extra deck with this, so I don't know what he's doing with this Mind Control. 2 Trade-In. 1 Soul Charge, 1 Monster Reborn, which I sadly forgot to include in my list. 3 Banishment of the Dark Lords, which is Contact is their Monster Reborn. The Banishment is their search card, sorry. 2 Twin Twisters, only 1 Valhalla, and then for traps he's playing 1 Solemn, 1 Rebellion, and 1 Sanctified. Alright, so let's talk about this. I've been making comments throughout this. I think the Vanity's Fiend is a little weird. I think if you're going to be playing this deck and you want to lock both players out of special summoning, just play more Christia. Like, you're playing the 1, just play like 2 or 3 even, and that will help with your trade-in, which, by the way, trade-in, I'd bump that up to 3. Realistically, I like the Kaijus. I think that's a little different. You are playing, who is it? Superbia is a level 8 and Zerato is a level 8. So if you're going to be playing the Kaiju, that's also another thing. You're playing the Kaiju while you're also playing these lockout cards for special summoning, which I think is kind of strange. So maybe work on that a little bit. I guess the Kaiju is an 8, so it does work with trade-in, but that also begs the question, why aren't you playing 3 trade-in? So yeah, a little bit strange there. You're only playing 1 Valhalla. I'd like to know why, because the entire deck is fairies, and if you open Valhalla, you just get a free Dark Lord summon, and you don't have to really waste your hand to get out like Nastin or anything like that. So a little confused on that as well. And then the 1 Sanctified, the 1 Rebellion is a little strange too, because I feel like if you're going to be playing these, you need to bump them up a little bit higher. Overall, I think the deck is pretty okay. Your Mind Control tells me that you want an extra deck. You want like a rank 8 to steal something from your opponent, because like what I see you doing here is like summoning Superbia, giving your opponent a Kaiju, using Mind Control to take the Kaiju, and then overlaying them. That's what I would do. So I would put in like a rank 8 or something in here, like maybe one of the Galaxy Eyes monsters, like a Tachyon or something. Not Tachyon, the one that pops something, Full Armor. He pops something. So yeah, I definitely would add an extra deck. But yeah, this deck is pretty okay. If you want some like other Dark Lord inspiration, check out my deck profile, of course, because I just did this deck and I think this deck is super fun. So very cool to talk about Dark Lords. So we're gonna do deck number 2 now. So I'm just gonna flip into deck number 2, and this one's a Lunalight deck, which I do have a little bit of experience with because I have a buddy who's played this deck since like it came out in Shining Victories, mostly because. We got Shining Victories came out when we were still in high school, and that we bought so much of that set, like an insane amount. And if you notice, I actually in most of the videos we have the Shining Victories sneak peek playmat because Crystal Wing is my favorite monster. Mio got that mat for me. So anyway, let's talk about the deck. So he's playing 3 Lunalight Wolf, 2 Lunalight Crimson Fox, 3 Blue Cat, 3 Kaleido Chick, which is good, 2 Tiger, 2 Butterfly, 3 Rabbit, and 3 Sheep. And then he's playing 3 Allure, 2 Polymerizations, and a Fusion Sub, which I'm going to move right there. 3 Perfume, which I believe is their Monster Reborn, and then yeah, it's like a speed droid. It's like a speed recovery for the deck, except it's not slow. And then 2 Cosmic Cyclone. Galaxy Cyclone's a different card. 3 Tenkis, which is pretty good. 2 Reincarnation Dance, 2 Lost Wind, and a Solemn. What is with these people and their one Solemn Warning? We got 2 deck lists where their only Solemn and their only negation is Solemn Warning. Play Judgment. Don't play Warning, play Judgment. It negates everything except for monster effects. But like, if you're gonna play a Solemn, why would you play Warning when Judgment's at 1? Anyway, so let's do that aside. He does have an extra deck. He's playing 3 of each of the fusion. That's all you need to know. So 3 Leo, which is the Panther Dancer, and 2 Lunalights, and then he's playing Panther, which is Cat Dancer and a Lunalight, and he's playing Cat Dancer, which is 2 Lunalights. So I think you're supposed to play 3 of them except for Leo. I think you're only supposed to play 2 Leo. That's my only thing. Of course, Link monsters, you definitely want the Beast Warrior Link, which is like a Fire Daruma doll. You want Wee Witch in here as well, because she works for this deck. And then maybe even Alistair. You might even want to throw like a little bit of an Invoked Engine in this, but I don't know how well that would go over. So for the Wolves, I believe, let's see, Wolf is the Pendulum Effect one, and I'm pretty sure this is the Fusion Gate. Yeah, this is the Fusion Gate. I think this is a little bit much, especially in this era of Yu-Gi-Oh! Playing the 3 Wolf seems a little insane. I actually have a Lunalight deck on my Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro that I will pull up really quick. I think I still have it. Yeah, so it's 2 Wolf. I'm playing 2 Wolf, 2 Cat. You can see my deck list right here is a little bit different. I have some of the new stuff in here as well, so maybe that's what you're waiting for, is like the new stuff. But right now, I think playing 3 of some of those Lunalights is a little bit much. It just seems like a lot. And then the 2 Tiger, which I believe is like a little Monster Reborn. Once per turn, target a Lunalight, special summon it. Yep. And then the Butterfly. I know that White Rabbit. What's this? Normal summon, target a Lunalight. Yep, brings one back. And then I believe Sheep can grab Polly. Yep, you discard it, and it grabs Polly. Yeah. So it's like a King of the Swamp for the deck. So I do think that some of these monsters are ran a little bit much. I think the Crimson Fox is ran at the right number. I think Blue Cat could go a little bit. Kaleido Chick I think is fine. I would consider bumping Tiger up by 1 because it's not a hard once per turn, it's a soft one. So if you're able to put that thing back in your hand or put a second one in the scale, you can get 2 revives. The Purple Butterfly, I don't remember what this one does. Send this card from hand or field and target a Lunalight you control, gain 1,000 attack. Yeah, so this one's a little bit outdated, and I think it even gets outclassed whenever we get the new Lunalight stuff, which is coming out in January, so coming out really soon. The 3 Allures is great. The entire deck is dark. If you're also, I don't know if whenever I put out the thing for people to send in their deck list, I asked them if they wanted a casual or / budget options or if they wanted more competitive options, and I don't remember what this guy said. So I'm gonna go ahead and say throw some Ash Blossom in here, throw some Hand Traps in here, Effect Veiler, something along those lines. You're definitely gonna want some negation because this deck can get stopped pretty hard in its tracks. The 2 Polys, I don't really... I think you should play the 3 polymerization and not the fusion sub. I think fusion sub is fine on its own, like it's a fine card, but this deck doesn't really want to play fusion sub. This deck wants polymerization, so I would cut that. The 3 perfume is fine. It's literally Monster Reborn, but like better. The Cosmic Cyclone's a little strange in this deck, but I guess, like, you know, back row removal. Honestly, you could play Twin Twisters and be fine because this deck has a fusion gate built into it. So there you go. The Tenkis, that's perfectly fine. The Reincarnation Dance is what I saw when I was putting this deck into the computer, and I was like, this is weird, because I've never seen anyone play Reincarnation Dance. And so it was just draw by battle card effect, add up to 2. So it's a search card that's really slow, because you have to wait until something dies. You're already playing 3 Tenki, you could cut Reincarnation Dance for 2 Solemn Strikes. Like, for real, you don't need to be playing that card. It's not necessary. Especially when you have Allure and you have as many monsters as you do in this deck. The 2 Lost One is fine. It's just Breakthrough Skill. I play Lost One as a side deck card, but you know, I get you're maining it, so it's fine. And then the Solemn Warning, like I already said it earlier, you could play Solemn Judgment over this if you're content on playing that 1 Solemn. So that's this deck. That is the Lunalight deck, and just in case, I don't know if this is actually going to, if my camera battery is going to make it into decks 3 and 4, so I'm going to cut it here just in case, and I will see you guys in part 2. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in part 2 of the deck reviews.